The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. We have the story of Gideon. Gideon is preparing himself to go to fight the Midianites. Cherupari, another name for Gideon, rose up early in the morning to go and fight the Midianites. He had 32,000 men, but God told him that he had already given the Midianites into their hands, thus the number was 2 men. This story is found in the book of Judges, chapter 7, verse 1 onwards. Now, Gideon is preparing to go to fight the people of the Midianites. He has taken the 2,000 men, but God is telling him that the Midianites have given unto your hands, and this number which you are having is 2 men. If Israel were to win with 30,000 men, they could glory for themselves and forget God. Thus God commanded Gideon to tell those who were fearful to return, and 22,000 men returned, and 10,000 remained, but God said there were still more. God commanded them to return, and they returned. And when they returned, only 10,000 people were remained, but still God said there were more. So God decided to choose for himself and gave them a test. And everyone who laps from the water with his tongue was to be set apart. And anyone who gets down on his knees to drink was disqualified. Only 300 men lapped the water, and the others returned. So God told Gideon he would save him by the 300 men, and commanded him to go near the camp, and the Amalekites and the Midianites were numerous as the locusts. Gideon had 300 men, and when he went near the camp, he saw the Amalekites and the Philistines were numerous. After Gideon had a dream that one man was telling about his victory, he worshipped God and divided the 300 men into 3 groups. Every man has a trumpet, empty pitchers, and torches inside the pitchers. So he commanded them to do as he will do when he came to the edge of the camp. That is, brought the trumpet on every side of the wall camp, and shout, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. When they came out of the camp, they blew the trumpet, broke the pitchers, held the torches in their left hand, and trumpets on the right hand. And they shouted, the sword of Lord and of Gideon. Thus God gave them victory over the Midianites. Judges 7 verse 20. The 3 companies blew the trumpet and broke the pitchers, and they held the torches in their left hand, and the trumpet and their right hand for blowing. They cried, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. Thus, what do we learn from this message? We are being told Gideon has prepared the people to go and fight the people of the Midian. God has told him to reduce the number, and the number now is being reduced to 300 men because God put a test, and the test was passed by only 300 men. Those ones who were very fearful, they returned. God doesn't require fearful people. And this group, these 300 men, they having the trumpet, the pitchers, and the torches. And we are told that when they went across the camp, they blew the trumpet, they broke the pitchers, they held the torches in their left hand and trumpets on their right hand. And after doing all this, they shouted the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. Christians, we need to shout the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. Christians are called to shine and break the pitches which conceals their right. Which thing which conceals your right? Shine and break the thing which conceals your right. Because you are told from the book of Matthew 5 verse 14 to 16, let your light shine before men. Let your good works be such that when men look upon you, they shall know that you have been with Jesus. Let your light shine. Let your good works be such when people see you, they know that you have been with Jesus. How do people look at you? When they see at you, do they notice that you have been with Jesus? Blow the trumpet by proclaiming the crucified Jesus to the sinners. Take the gospel to them. Blow the trumpet because Jesus is coming soon. Take the message to them. Tell them Jesus died for them. Tell them Jesus was being crucified and Jesus risen and is even. Tell them about the message of God. Tell them about their sins have been forgiven. Remember, the true war cry of the church is Gideon's watchword, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. God must do it. It is his own work. But we should not be idle. God must do it. It is his own work. But we should not be idle. If we can only cry the sword of the Lord, we shall be guilty of an idle presumptions. And if we only proclaim the sword of Gideon alone, we shall manifest idolatrous reliance on an arm of flesh. So we need to shout together the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. Because if we only shout the sword of the Lord, these ones will make us to be idle. And God doesn't require idle people. And if we only shout the sword of Gideon, this one will make us to be idolaters, to just leave God alone and depend on our own power. We need to shout the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. In the practical harmony, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. That's what you are being told. We can do nothing of ourselves, but we can do everything by the help of our God. Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthened me.